Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new, my name is Chlo and I help girls get their period back and get out of quasi-recovery and develop a beautiful relationship with food. Let's dive into today's little chit-chat here. So I did a poll the other day on Instagram, and my apologies, I actually don't think I screenshotted it for you guys, but it was something to the extent of who wants to get their period back or something like that, and a couple people answered no. And then I posted this reel the other day. Which I think for the most part people needed this reel because this was the most viewed, most liked, most saved, most shared post I've ever done. I looked at my phone and literally thought it was a joke because I've never reached numbers like this before, but apparently people liked the reel, so I don't know. It was a simple little reel, but there you go. And then someone responded to this reel saying well, why would I want to get my period back? And I'm like, you guys, do we need to have a video on this? Let's have a video on this. Let's chat about it. Why would you want to get your period back? Knowing everything right now, I'm like, how could you not want to get your period back? And having had my period back for multiple years, it's this is amazing. I love this. I love my period. Who doesn't want to get it back? But then I'm thinking to past me, the version of me that was stuck in multiple eating disorders and had amenorrhea for 11 years. I didn't want my period back. I knew in the back of my mind, it's not the best thing that I don't have a period, but I didn't want it back. It wasn't until my last stint of recovery, that was my first time trying to get my period back. I had tried recovering before, but it was never even on my mind to think I'm recovering to get my period back. It was just whoa, I need to eat more food because I'm hardly eating anything. I knew I needed to recover from my eating disorders. And it really wasn't until that 11th year mark of my amenorrhea that I was maybe this is actually a thing that I want to work on getting back. So let's just quickly chat about the reasons why you would want a period. I think number one, can we just get it out of the way? Because I know you guys are expecting me to say this one, so we're going to say it right now. I think number one is your fertility, but I want to go a little bit deeper than this because not everyone wants to have kids, and that's totally fine. That's your, that's your life. You have the ability to choose whether you want to bring children into this world or not. But your fertility, whether or not you want to have children, is super important because it is a sign of good health. I talk about in my signature course to help women get their period back and nutritionally rehabilitate their body and rewire their relationship with food. I tell them in one of the modules that your period is your 5th vital sign.
I feel when I was 14 and I lost my period, it was just oh, that was random. That was weird. I don't know why that happened necessarily. And unfortunately, I also didn't give it second thought. I didn't think it was a big deal that I lost my period. Now, it's important to pay attention to what's happening with your cycle and not to brush away any abnormalities or irregularities because your menstrual cycle is your 5th vital sign. Now, what on earth do I mean by that? So vital signs are just a group of the most important vital medical signs that will indicate the health status of someone's body. And so there are 4 main ones that a medical professional will look at. They'll look at your body temperature, your pulse rate, your respiration rate, and your blood pressure. And those are your vital signs to tell, okay, are you okay? What's going on? Is there anything pressing here that is off? But as a woman, it's kind of cool. We have a 5th vital sign and it often doesn't get talked about. And again, that's your menstrual cycle. So your menstrual cycle can give you valuable insight into the state of your health and your overall metabolic rate, just like your blood pressure or your body temperature or your pulse rate would.
And while not having a period is a big sign that's saying ding, 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 something is wrong. So let's dive into what those things are, those wrong things. What's going wrong here when you don't have a menstrual cycle? Again, getting the obvious out of the way, osteoporosis is a big one. You have estrogen receptors on your bones. And that plays a part in why, when estrogen drops, why bone density starts really getting depleted. But also, you're not eating enough. Like, not having your period signifies that you are in energy debt. You are expending more than you are consuming, so that can be done in one and or both of these two ways, which is under eating and or over exercising. And so what happens then is your body's put in this energy debt, and it goes, okay, well, we don't have enough energy and resources, so hey, why don't we pull some like calcium out of our bones? Doesn't that sound like a good, smart idea? Like, our bones don't really need them. Like, they do need them, of course. It's important. They need them. But for like short-term survival, like, we can spare our bones in order to give our other cells the calcium that they need to thrive. And so bone density starts going down, and you become at high risk for neurodegenerative diseases. So things like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, MS, like, those things are really serious. And I have unfortunately seen and heard many stories of girls in their young 40s developing Alzheimer's due to years and years of not treating their body right and having amenorrhea. So that is like a huge risk factor. And I think that we as young people we can brush off a lot of these things because we're like, that's not gonna happen to me, or like, no, that will happen when I'm like way older. And I just want to reiterate that I know people in their late 30s and young 40s who after years of restriction run into these things. And I don't think you want to be 40 years old, which should really be like the prime of your life there, right? Like 40 years old is usually you're set in your career, you have a house, you have kids maybe, or partner, whatever lifestyle you choose. But that's usually a good like prime time of life, and you don't want to be dealing with Alzheimer's at that time, especially if you do end up having kids, and then you have like a 6-year-old kid and you're dealing with brain issues. It's really scary. It's really scary. Other things that amenorrhea puts you at risk for is cancer. Breast cancer being one of them. And I always thought for some reason that I was like, I'm safe from cancer, especially things like breast cancer, because I was like, I don't have any hormones. And so I thought that like the lack of hormones equaled safety. But now, of course, I understand and I realize that, oh my gosh, there is no safety in having no hormones. Like, the body can't function properly off of that. Your body has this intricate balance of hormones that it needs to maintain. When progesterone starts getting off, when estrogen is off, when testosterone and cortisol and all these hormones are imbalanced, that's when things start to go awry, because the body's like hormonal system is just it's all wacky. And you have progesterone receptors everywhere in your body, estrogen receptors, you have in your heart, you have estrogen receptors. Like, this is a really big deal. It's not just isolated, and I want to really be clear with this. Your amenorrhea is not just isolated to your reproductive health. It's not. And I always thought it was, and I was like, well, cool, I don't even want kids. Back in the day when I like had literally 0 hormones and 0 sex drive, I was like, I never want to have kids anyways. That's totally fine. That changed once my hormones turned back on. I was like, oh my gosh, I want kids. I want a partnership. I want to do all of that. And so, yeah, you may be thinking here being like, I don't want kids, I don't want any of that, and so I'm fine, I don't want my period back. But I really just, I am raising the flag of caution here, because that is really dangerous to go too long without your menstrual cycle. Now, some of the other things that can start to go wrong when you have amenorrhea is, there's a little baby spider on me. There you go. Is vagina and vulvar atrophy. So literally all your sexual organs start to atrophy, which is decrease in size. That's not fun. That makes intimacy really painful. And so I think those girls, if they are a little bit younger, I think when they come into their like 20s, especially mid-20s, late 20s, they're going to be like, wait, what the heck? This sucks. Like, why is penetration so painful? Why is it like nearly impossible? Why am I bleeding after intimacy? Why is all this stuff happening? Why is there no lubrication down there? Why is this so painful? Why is there tearing? Why is there all this stuff going on? I think that they are going to, a lot of them, unfortunately, are going to have a very rude awakening with how it can really impact sexual pleasure, sexual performance, and all of that. And so that's like one of the just like very unfun thing that happens when you live without a period for too long. And so I didn't want this video to be too long, and to be honest, just scroll my Instagram and you will find lots of reasons as to why it's important to get your period back. Again, not having the period is a sign that there's something else way bigger going on that's not healthy and that's not good. Your body does not have enough of the energy, calories, nutrients, all of that it needs to really thrive. So it is not isolated in the reproductive area, and your period plays a huge role in your whole and your period plays a huge role in your overall health and well-being, not to mention just emotions. You're very flatlined when you live with amenorrhea. When you get your period back, it's like, oh, I feel the fluctuations now of I'm in my follicular phase, everything's super happy and fun, and then I'm in the luteal phase, and it's like, I just want to be introverted and stay at home and eat chocolate. And it's like, we need that to avoid burnout. We need that to keep ourselves in balance. I really think that the menstrual cycle is built beautifully to help us stay away from just consistent, just like go 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 go. It's like it calls us to like, no, you're slowing down. You just got your period, you're slowing down. And I think that's really beautiful. And so those are just some of the reasons. Again, go scroll my Instagram. I really hope that you guys take your amenorrhea very seriously. That's one of my biggest regrets in life, is that I didn't. I just brushed it off of, oh, I don't have a period, that's fine. It's not fine. Like, we need to stop that narrative of saying like, it's fine. It is not okay to not have a period. It's not okay to just be on birth control to get your period, because you're not actually getting a period on birth control. That's something that I think a lot of women need to understand. Like, birth control didn't fix your amenorrhea, honey. It's actually probably making it worse. So if you want to get off of the birth control, get your period back naturally, and really start elevating your health, highly recommend getting into the Get Your Flowing course for the month of June. If you're watching this is June 2022. There's a $400 discount, which actually is going to equate to an $800 discount once the prices rise in July. So this is your last opportunity to get a really good discount into the course. There are payment plans, so you can pay, I think it's like $200 a month for like 4 months. You guys, it's your health, it's your fertility, it's your menstrual cycle. This is important. Definitely worth the investment. So you can look down below for those discount codes, or you can send me an email if you have any questions about the course. I'm here to answer anything. I spend a lot of time in there. I'm actually about to go head on to a live every Friday at noon. I go live with the girls, answer all of the questions, check in with everyone, kind of like group coaching type of style. It's a great place for all of us to bond as well. So gonna go ahead and do that. So I got to get going, but I hope that all of you guys get your period back soon. And again, if you need that support and help, trust me, it's a hard process. I think nearly everyone needs the support and help. So definitely take use and advantage of the discount. Again, you can find that in the little description box below. I'll see you guys later. Bye.